So hi geeks, welcome to my new video. So in this video we are going to talk about best practices that are involved in MongoDB data modeling. So we are going to discuss about best practices in one-to-one relation, one-to-many relation, and many-to-many relation. Okay. So let's begin with the one-to-one relation. So in this one-to-one relation, let's focus on embedding versus referencing versus hybrid. This hybrid is nothing but a subset pattern, so I'm going to tell what is subset pattern and where to store this foreign key or reference key in MongoDB collection. So let's take an example. This is example for one-to-one relationship where a user will have one address, okay, and a user will have one account. Okay, let's assume we have this relationship. So how we can efficiently store or model this relations among these three collections: user, address, and account. Okay, so if we embed address and account into a single collection, so our user collection will look like this. Okay, this is a single document of the user collection. So here we are directly embedding address and account objects. Okay, so as a beginner we might do this mistake because we think like okay, any entity or a collection that is related to user, okay, which is having a one-to-one relation, okay, might be embedded like this. So guys, initially this might look a better way, but as and when your user collection grows, okay, this is a pretty bad way. Okay, if a user collection grows, okay, assume a user has 12 to 15 one-to-one relation with other collection. Okay, we can't go on storing or embedding these address, account objects into one collection. Okay, so to summarize, if a collection is going to grow in future, let's not embed this address and account into this user collection because we might get many one-to-one relation. Okay, so let's separate into a separate collection so that we will have a separate collections for this account and address. We have a user collection like this. Okay, where it will store only basic information related to user, and we will have a separate collection like address where we store address related information along with the user id. So as you see at the end, so we are storing the user id, meaning this address belongs to this user. Okay, and we will also store account similar to address. So here we also store user id along with the account details. So basically it says this account belongs to this particular user. Okay, and these are the basic things, guys. So whenever you are having a collection that is going to grow in future, okay, let's separate the entities into a separate collection so that they can easily scale themselves. Okay, so let's conclude this one-to-one best practices. Okay, so use embedding when a document is small and won't grow in future. Okay, so as I already explained, okay, when a document is small and we won't get many relations, one-to-one relations, okay, then we can prefer embedding. Okay, because Mongoose puts a document size limit of 16 MB, so we should be aware of this one. Okay, and if collection or document will grow in future, divide a collection into multiple collection, which I already told earlier. So user and account can be separated into multiple into separate collections. Okay, try to store the reference key in child collection. This is the third point. This is pretty important because many developers might think, okay, so instead of storing, okay, this key like this, instead of storing the user key in the address, okay, some user might think that these keys can be stored in user. Okay, but yes, of course, we can store this key, but this is not a good way of storing a foreign key in the user, because always the foreign key should be in the child table. Okay, if we have 15 one-to-one relations, we are storing 15 different keys in the user collection. So let's not store the foreign key in the parent collection, let's store it in the child collection. Okay, this is also one best practice. Okay, so this is the third point, and let's go to the fourth point. Okay, so embedding will result in improved performance, but it may result in more complication when we want to paginate embedded documents or want to limit fetching of embedded documents. Okay, because there is no way to limit number of embedded documents to be fetched. So what it meant is, okay, let's assume we are embedding all others account into user collection. Okay, let's assume you want to display all accounts in the system which belongs to user and paginate it. Okay, obviously it becomes difficult, because we have to go through each user and fetch these accounts, and then we have to paginate. Okay, so this is a very difficult task if you store accounts and address into a single table, guys. So if you are having tables, and if you want to paginate these things, then please suggestion is that don't follow embedding in those cases. Okay, let's separate into a separate collection, so that we can easily paginate there, because we can access the address collection and account collection individually, so that we can easily paginate. Fifth point is referencing may result in additional queries and increased maintenance, but however document will be flexible and can easily scale. So this is pretty straightforward. So since we are separating this address and account documents into their own collection, so if you want to fetch these address and accounts related to user, we might end up in having a extra query. This is not a disadvantage, but yes, a disadvantage when compared to embedding. But okay, this is the cost involved in fetching this address and account. This is the minimum cost involved, and of course we should follow this whenever a collection grows. Okay, and if we do this, okay, documents will be flexible and can easily scale. Okay, it is pretty stable, we already discussed. So each collection individually can grow. Okay, so subset pattern. So subset pattern is like a hybrid pattern. Okay, so here we embed more frequently accessed documents. Okay, but we are not going to embed all the documents. Okay, so what it meant is, for example, we have taken this address example here. So for example, we are displaying address in every page along with user basic information. Let's say in 5 places we are displaying the user information, let's assume, or in 5 places we are accessing this user's information where we need this address. So okay, so if we have 15 one-to-one relation like address, account, and etc, if address is the one which is most frequently used, we can put address into user collection. Okay, and rest all in other collection, guys. This is what subset pattern says. So in this way, okay, we can improve the performance, because we are pretty sure out of 15 relation, only one relation is widely used whenever we display user information. So that is address here. So let's embed directly into the user collection. And again, so please note, okay, so this if we embed, and again if we are going to paginate and going to display in table, this is again a bad way to embed. So as I said, if you're not going to paginate or known to store in a table format, and if you are just going to display this address information at some 5 to 6 places in your project, or more than 5 to 6 pages, and then you can just embed this address. This is what a subset patterns do. So let's go to one-to-many relation best practices. It is pretty similar to one-to-one relation best practices. Let's talk about embedding, referencing, and subset pattern, which is hybrid pattern, and way to store this foreign key or reference key. So let's take an example for one-to-many relation. So let's take this example where we have books, many books which belongs to user. And user will have many posts. Okay, so assume we have a relationship between book, post, and user as shown in the diagram. So again, we can embed these books and posts into a single user collection. So in that case, our user collection look like this. This is a single document. So as you see clearly, the books key will have array of books, and post key will have array of post, and orders key will have orders. Okay, so this is again a bad way of embedding all the books, posts, and orders into a single collection. It is similar to one-to-one. So if your collection is going to grow, it's again a bad practice. If your collection won't grow and simple, we can embed into a single collection, but usually tables like user will grow in future, so let's not embed. Let's separate books, post, and orders into their own collection. So in that case, user collection will have basic information like this. Okay, and our books and post collection will look like this. Okay, so where each document in a book collection will store a user ID. So here there are two books so which are owned by same user. As you see, we are storing the same user ID in both book documents, meaning that user has two books. And similarly in the post, we are having two posts that belongs to same user. So in this way we can separate into a separate collection. Okay, so that these individual collections can easily scale up and grow by themselves. Okay, so again the question comes, where to store the foreign key. Okay, in the beginning we can think like primary keys of books and posts can be directly stored in the user table, but again this is a bad way of storing. Okay, so always one should try to store the foreign keys in the child table, okay, or child collection here, which are books and posts. Okay, so if your collection goes on growing, okay, like books, so if your books user has 10 million books, we are going to store 10 million IDs in this user collection, which is pretty bad. Okay, if there is no limit, or if you're not sure the size of the books, okay, it's not good to store the keys here. Let's store the user ID in the books instead of storing book IDs in the user. Okay, similarly it applies for post as well. Okay, if you are sure that books are gonna grow in future and post gonna grow in future, let's store user ID in the books and post collection. Okay, that's the best practice. So let's conclude on this one-to-many relation. Okay, so all the conclusion points are pretty similar to one-to-one. So use embedding when a document is on and grow in future. Okay, as I explained with the example. And if a collection document will grow in future, divide a collection into multiple collection, which we did for posts and books in this example, which we just went through. Okay, like this. Okay, so we just need to separate these collections and try to store the reference key in child collection. Okay, so which we discussed just now. So we should always try to store the foreign key in the child collection. And the next point will be embedding will result in improved read performance, but it may result in more complication when you to paginate embed documents and limit the fetching of the documents. So okay, so this is a pretty straightforward. So like if you have collections like this where we if you are storing the post and orders, it will be obviously difficult to paginate and list down the posts, okay, of a system. Okay, if you separate into separate collection, so it is easy because we have separate collection so that we can limit the number of documents to be fetched. Okay, we can easily paginate, we can display in tables. Okay, that's very flexible. Okay, that's what it meant. And so referencing may result in additional queries. Okay, but however documents will be flexible and can easily scale. So obviously it will if you want to fetch post and orders belongs to user, if you're having a separate collection, so it may result in an extra query, but this is a minimum cost involved again. So okay, this just results in an extra query. Okay, so this is what the fifth point says. Again, the sixth point is subset pattern, guys. So for example, user has you know uh, 30 posts, okay, that are to be displayed in some pages. Okay, so in those cases where we are displaying a 30 post or 25 post or whatever the number is, along with the user information, in those cases we can embed 30 posts, not all the posts, or 30 posts which are recently created by the user. So we can only store those recent posts in the user table, so that it might avoid having an extra query in those pages where we display 30 posts of a user which are recently made by him. So a subset pattern is just nothing but we embed more frequently access the documents in collection. That's it. Okay. So let's talk about many-to-many relation best practices. So here we are going to talk about way to show the foreign key or reference keys, and we are going to talk about a special case of many-to-many relations, which we call N is to M relation, where N and M have a different quantities. I am going to explain this N is to M with an example so that you can understand better. So let's take an example here. So user, let's take assembly has many part. Okay, so in a car, okay, basically assembly will have many parts, and the same part can be belong to many assemblies. Okay, it's a good example of many to many relation. Okay, so in that case, so I have already explained in my previous videos like how to store the foreign keys. Okay, so here we are just going to store foreign keys in this way. Okay, so like assembly will have a primary keys of parts, and parts will have a primary keys of assemblies. Okay, so this is how we store the foreign keys. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. Okay, so so we will have a special case like this. Okay, so user will have many roles, and each role can belong to many users in the system. Okay, so in that case, okay, where we have relations like user. Okay, so in the system maximum we have 10 roles or 10 to 20 roles in the system. Okay, and we have a million user records. So so assume in a moderate or average system, okay, we have 5 roles and millions of records. So in those cases it is not good to store user IDs in the role table, because user roles is a collection that won't grow not that much big like the user table. So we hardly have 10 to 20 roles, okay. It's not good to store user IDs in the role table like this, okay, or role collection like this. And because it's pretty uneven, okay. We have one role and we are going to store lack of user IDs in this owner document, okay, which is bad, okay. So this type of relation where we have unequal quantity in both the collections, so we call it as n is to m, not n is to n or m is to m, n is to m, okay. So what is the solution for this kind of relation is pretty simple, okay. So we just create a collection with the roles without storing the user ID. We just store the role IDs in the user table, guys. So here, even though if we have millions of record, those each million record or document will have key called roles, okay. That role gonna just contain the primary keys of the role document. So if user has 10 roles, we just have an array of 10 primary keys in the roles key of user table. So no need to store the user ID in the role table. So hope you understood NSTEM relation. And here we don't have much points to talk about when it comes to embedding, okay. It's all about this NSTEM relation and where to store the foreign key, okay. And obviously we don't have much steps rather than just storing the IDs in a both relation.